All right, welcome everybody. I'm Wes Warren. I'm here with Greg Stanley. We are from Whitehall Management. And today's topic is about staff morale. Greg, this is a topic you chose because you've seen this also recently, but also I know you've seen it many times in your career. I have too, but this is how to destroy your staff's morale in one single step. A title that should catch some eyebrows and be concerning to people. What is the mistake that you see people make?
Well, there's probably not many people listening now that aren't doing this on some level. And the ones that are doing it on a high level are paying a big price. What I'm talking about, Wes, is that occasional and sometimes not so occasional patient, a friend, near relative, we kind of see them maybe as an influencer, and we just give them a deep, deep discount or actually give them care for free. And staff, you'd think that only would affect staff who are on a bonus. And yeah, I want to talk about that. Staff who are on a bonus, that hurts them because that was, they, whether it's true or not, they see that as production that would have credited toward their bonus. So in effect, you've taken money out of their pocket and basically given it to some patient. But there's people, there's doctors that have this going on where they don't have a bonus. And if staff have taken to some degree some ownership in the practice, they lose that. They're hurt by it. And after it happens a few times, they no longer see themselves as kind of investing or part owners in the practice. And they kind of say, well, oh, whatever, it's a whatever moment. And you don't want that.
What impact does it have? You know, when you say it destroys the morale, how so? How does it play out? I know you interviewed team members and you get to see it play out. How does it play out?
That's a good question. You know, Wes, when you get upwards to 10 to 15 staff, morale, that is how your staff are feeling, happy, sad, disappointed, whatever, morale equals production. And it can equal collections also. So morale is production. You kill morale, you kill production. You say, well, production, I sell the care and it gets done. No, it doesn't. It doesn't get done when the morale is bad. People aren't called, people aren't followed up on. In fact, they see new patients coming in or people coming in. If they think you know them, they kind of sink in their heart that this will probably be a free case. And like I say, they either lose the sense of ownership or they know that their bonus is going to be dinged by it.
There's a number, and we say it's around 10 team members where there's enough moving parts to managing the schedule, patients calling, coming, changing their schedule, that if the team is not invested, if the team's morale's dropped, it does impact the office production. Bottom line, it's practices, you know, with 5, 6 team members, less moving parts, much easier to manage, where the doctor's focus drive kind of wins out the day. The morale doesn't necessarily impact the overall production. But there is a number, and it might be 8, might be 9, but it's somewhere around 10 that
I
it
think
definitely
of
impacts the practice.
this phenomenon occurring on 3 levels as staff see it. Number one, they complain about something. Maybe they point out to you that, you know, you just gave away $4,000 worth of care, or last month you gave away $12,000 worth of treatment. And maybe they'll even hint that it somehow affects them. So, and to this, you don't respond at all. Maybe you go, oh, okay, thanks for telling me. And very little is done. The next level up the chain would be, I hear you, tell me about it. How does that affect you? How does that make you feel? How does it affect the practice? And they get to feel understood. That's an improvement, but it's not the ultimate. The ultimate in staff's mind is that number 3, the highest level, is that you actually make changes to reflect what it is they're talking about. Basically saying, I would feel so much better if you had quit giving care away, or whatever they say. It could, you know, we're using this issue, it could be anything. But when they see you respond to their concerns and you actually make changes, that's the highest level of feedback, highest level of response. So there's no change, being heard, and actually making change. Being heard is better than nothing.
One thing, that reminds me of a practice that kind of has this problem, and there's no bonus. There's no bonus. So it really doesn't matter. In other words, the doctor
Yeah.
could give it all away for free. Why would the team care? That if I was a doctor listening, that's what I would be thinking. Why do they care? In almost every office, there are bills that need to be paid. There's a little stress that the doctor, I want to say, pushes onto the staff on some level about the overhead bills need to be paid. They know that if anybody's doing the bills in the office, they know that there's a little stress involved in covering those bills. And if that is happening on any level, which I believe is 95% chance that it is, they get upset when you're giving away treatment. We could have put somebody else in there. We could have charged them for that. We could have charged them 80%, 90%, give them a 10% discount, but we could have made something off of that to help with, it's a funny thing about doctors and staff. You've said this a lot, and I've seen this, where doctors give out a bonus and then they complain about it because it hurts. It's, they got the payroll and everything, and it's financially tough sometimes to swing a bonus. And the team will be like, you keep the money, doctor. You must need it more than we do. I know you say that as a joke, but it's not a joke. I talk to team members and they will give up their bonus just so the doctor doesn't whine and cry about money. And that's kind of what happens with this giving away treatment, is they hear you whine and cry about money once, and that's where their mind goes, why'd you give that treatment away? We could have put somebody else in there. We could have charged them for that. They would have paid for that. All these things go in their mind and just kind of sinks the morale of the office.
I have doctors that leave early, they go home early, they stay long at lunch, they're in there talking too long, hurting production. Those all score a lot of points on this killing morale thing. But this idea you're talking about of giving care away, probably right up there with all the bad ones. And part of you says, this is my office. I'm paying these people. I have the right to give care away. Can we talk a little about how that might play out so that you could do it with less impact?
Yeah.
Number one is when somebody's coming in, it's going to be a friend or a deeply discounted case or situation. Some people have made the point of bringing them in on Saturday on a day off or something and having one person come in, maybe overpaying that staff person a little bit to stand chairside. Another is to explain exactly how they can benefit the practice. For example, somebody is a guardian of influence or perception. Somebody can really ramp up referrals to the practice. Sometimes explaining that in advance can help. But again, staff will probably want you to do it on a time that wouldn't be productive anyway. Maybe your late morning is a bad time. That's where you would drop that kind of case,
Right.
Another one, and I think the bravest of all, is to give staff a bonus on what was given away. It has a tendency to kind of wake the doctor up. Let's say you just gave away a $5,000 treatment, and the bonus you're going to pay on that is $1,500 or $150 or whatever it is, typically about 3-4%. That you go ahead and pay the bonus, count it as production. And a lot of times staff, you can just see it in their eyes. Oh, you got us covered. Thank you. And you can see that they're kind of putting their heart in it. They're leaning into this.
How does this affect bonus? Let's go there. You mentioned a few things that are in this realm where doctors leave early, doctors stay at lunch, doctors don't come out of the room, they're on the computer a lot, or they talk a lot. Obviously, the big one is giving away treatment. All these things impact a doctor's office and morale if they have bonus. Specifically with giving away treatment, it doesn't take a a genius to figure out how mad that would make team members. We gave away $10,000. We would have hit the bonus if we didn't do that. How do you fix that? What do you do to offset that?
One thing you can do is keep 2 sets of records, one with free care, one without free care, and bonus on free care. Bonus everything. If we produce it, we bonus it. So staff actually will start to look at all patients the same, as opposed to kind of a seething resentment for those who are going to get deeply discounted care. Another thing is, in a lot of offices, and this helps morale, is giving treatment to staff and their family. Is how far down the family tree this is visited. Some people give the staff person free care and give their spouse or family members 50% free care. So there's a lot of ways you can go about this, but keep in mind that these are decisions that directly affect morale equals directly affects overall production.
And I was just gonna say, keep in mind that when you're small, you can kind of get away with this. It's like you said, small office, 5 team members. Yeah, morale's dinged a little bit, but you're not gonna feel it until you get near 7, 8, 9 team members. You'll start to see this thing become a bigger and bigger problem.
Something you said earlier too, Wes, some people feel your angst about paying bills and so forth. Let's be honest, we're really talking about leaders, which is a big issue in Whitehall. If you have people in charge where at the end of the month we go, nice job, we hit our numbers, or bad job, we didn't hit our numbers, that's when you look bad if you were back there giving away care. I have offices that is so prevalent. That is the doctor visiting on them, the impact of the bills that have to be paid, that they will keep a running total in their head as a way of defending themselves. What was given away?
It's no different than everybody's had a family member that they gave money to, a few $1,000s, and then you're like, but they're going out to dinner at this fancy restaurant, and then they're going to do that, and you're like,
why did they get free care?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of that whole scenario. And so a team member that hears you whine and cry about money once, in the back of their mind, they go to all these times that you gave away care, and they go, and it just doesn't work in their mind.
Number one, don't whine and cry about money to your staff. If they are leaning into their jobs, if they're somewhat engaged, be thankful for what you have. Don't tell them about money. It's not their place, because like you said, Wes, compared to them, you're rich.
Yeah.
Even when you're crying about money, you're rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's put that as one of the most common bullets we shoot ourselves with, is by demoralizing staff through free care given to relatives, acquaintances. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.